Is it gonna be a great day tomorrow? Yeah, nothing's changed to a degree. But I want to talk about the midterms a little bit. I know for Project Open Mic, I do there's more on the politics in a while, but it's gonna slow down and we talk about other stuff that's going on in the world, of course. But there was some interesting that happened this week, and it's a big topic, and I just want to go through certain stuff. I've talked about it on Facebook, which I have already, and I have, of course. So, with that said, I want to talk about some of the stuff that happened in midterm, some of the, how should I say this, the results. Now, as I said before, I don't really put in, I never tell anybody out there who to vote for because, again, that's up to you to do your clarity on the person that you vote for. So that's you. But there's some interesting stuff that came out of this that I think needs to have that I would love to talk about and have a conversation about with anybody who's listening because it's rare to see the results of certain things. I'll say this from the outset. We do have one thing about this country is we do have a problem with spending. We can't, for some reason we can't keep that under control, but we will get deeper and deeper into that once into the conversation. So here's what's going on with this. Again, I live in the state of North Carolina, and we had our results is there was some good results. And as I crack joked on Facebook, I said this. I vote when I did the vote, and when it comes to the people, I voted for because I looked at what's going on. I didn't vote straight ticket. I voted for a Democrat. I voted for a Republican, and I voted for a Libertarian. Did all the people I voted for win? No. Some did, some didn't. But you know what? Hey, I have no problem with that. I can live my life to that. But like I said, I voted by people because this party thing is really ridiculous. And the sad thing about it is a lot of people don't understand that the RNC and the DNC are private companies and not run by the government. They're private companies, so they could do anything they want to do. And we saw that in the 2016 election when they literally stole it, in my opinion, stole it from Bernie Sanders. Not that I was a rave supporter or anything. I'm just saying that they literally did steal it from the man, so it's kind of rough shot how they run it over that. But in my state of North Carolina, like I said, we had different. We had some stuff that I brought up. Give me a second here. Oh, oops. Sorry for the noise. I brought up with with my of course that went through, and some of it I am proud of. Now, the thing is, I hope this time that when we vote, when we vote and send things that we vote for, the politicians back it the hell up. That's the part I want. So, and also I'm gonna be talking about some races around the country as well too. So it's not just I'm not gonna just do North Carolina. I'm just the midterm things. Now, a lot of people have been going around saying, the House that and most people who listen to me offline, because like I said, I didn't want to do nothing for before the midterm happened because it's just something that I didn't want to throw my hand into because I want it to be as objective as I can, so that people do the kind of stuff. So if you come to listen now, that you see that, hey, the results and what's going on in the politics of not North America. So we did had. Let me just put it down for a second, so I can have that. But like I said, the Democrats did scoop back the Congressional House by a little bit, but they are back in charge, and that I have no problem for that, except for certain things that I would point out in that regard. Then we have, of course, this the Republicans picked up more seats in the Senate, and basically, it kind of, if things works out the way it is, and if the rhetoric that's coming from DeSantis and all those other people for what I'm gonna do with the House, the judicial system and everything, it might be beneficial for people who don't like Trump. I will say that if Nancy Pelosi came out and said we gotta calm some of this stuff down, Donald Trump came out, said the President Donald Trump came out and said we gotta calm some things down. And if the Democrats didn't follow, like we're not supposed to, right now somebody's challenging her for the Speaker of the House. If they don't, like I said, let's say they go against what Nancy Pelosi is saying right now, it could work out to his benefit in 2020. I mean, there's really nothing. I have not seen nobody that could step up in 2020 that could do any damage to President Trump, but we'll see how that works out. Now, there were things in North Carolina that I guess I voted for different parties because sorry about that. We voted for different parties. I voted for different parties because again, I've seen what both parties have done to the political scene, and it's not great. Now, like I said, I am no fan of the Republicans, but I also super no fan of the Democrats in the past. But that's here or there. What we're going to talk about though is, like I said, what's going on. So I am happy for my state of North Carolina that I reside in. We passed now for the second time. 97% of people said we want voters ID. And I walked in with my little voters card. We want voter ID. And I'll play a clip of something because it's all relevant in what I'm going to talk about. But I am happy that we passed that with no problem. I never saw it as a racist act. Sorry, Tiki Baba of the North Carolina NAACP. I don't care. That is not a racist act, sir. That I want to know who's voting, because a lot of people will say, "Oh, this fake voter suppression or fake voter fraud, whatever." Chicago been documented many years. A lot of dead people get on the gets to vote. It shouldn't happen. That's missing. It's weird how that doesn't expunge out further than what it is. California, as long as you have an ID, you can vote. Even if you are an illegal citizen, which is also voters fraud. We do not have a measure to see how bad voter fraud is because there's no basis of a system to test it. That's why I am for voters ID. Sorry, other countries do it. And it's weird that it's weird that people come up with the whole idea, and like I say, you'll hear it as you heard as I did it in the last video, where certain people think I think that's way more bad of how I can't get an ID, or as a black person I can't get an ID is racist, which is weird on my weird on all beliefs of how that works out. So I'm happy we passed that. We also had a Murphy's Law, which is basically for the victims. I am for that, and that passed as well. So I'm happy that passed because anybody who victim of a heinous crime, and is it somebody do you call it? If somebody, a victim of a crime, and that person maybe get like 10 years, 20 years, the least should know if the person's got released and what's the parole or what's going on. They should be notified because that crime basically affected them straight on. So I am a proprietor of that, and I'm happy that law got passed. So for victims, so that one, yes, no problem. Had no problem. Had no problem with that. That got passed. Now, a thing that I didn't like that got passed, and this is what I said, as Americans, we have a problem with spending. Just do. For some reason, we just think that we could just spend money and magically wish things away for some weird reason. It doesn't work. It has shown to never work multiple times, but people still do it, and it's weird on the point how people do that. So in the county I live in, they ask for a bond, so to give for a certain school or a tech, to give them they asked for a bond so that the school could expand and all this stuff, because they said that according to the school, they say that, well, we're getting so much more people and we want to expand and bring in help people. I got a problem with doing that in that regard. Problem is, though, is a bond. And somewhere people think that just because you approve a bond, it's basically a $350 million bond, that we approve this bond, that it's simple. No. You're not just paying back only the bond. The bond is a loan. You're paying the bond and an interest on the bond. That's one thing I don't like, and that's why I feel bad for the people. And again, for the generation that's below who I am, because again, they're gonna be paying for this. I'm gonna be paying for this in the foreseeable future, but they're gonna be paying for it as well too. And they're not gonna see, most of the time they don't see the benefits of it. And the reason I was against that bond, and I'm against a lot of bonds, because people try to regulate the money purse and politicians never follow through with it. I don't care if you're RRD, they do this. You give the government a revenue stream, they're not going to take it away. Even if it says temporary. We had a toll. I remember when we had Highway 540, and it said, oh, it's going to be a temporary toll tax. Well, it ain't temporary, and it's here to stay. The word temporary was in it, and it was here to stay. And the reason I'm kind of a little frustrated that bond got passed, because I told the story before, in 2014 when we was voting for it, they said, give us the bond so we don't have to raise the tuition in the kids. In 2014, I said people went with it. I said no, because again of what I just explained, government doesn't want to get rid of a revenue stream. But people voted for it. People voted for it, saying, okay, and this is specifically what it said: give us the money and we will not raise tuition on the students. Okay, that was November. January of the next year, which was basically 2 months later, what they did, they still raised the tuition on the students. Shocker. And because you did that, that's why I was against the bond, because you lied then and many times before, and why would I believe you now? So, with that said, not in the county I'm in right now, my property taxes is going up because the bond got approved. And people, I don't understand how people think that giving government money like this is going to help the situation, but that's what we always throw money at problems without even attacking the problem itself. Money is not the problem. We need more money for this. There's some things that we do need money for. I get that, but majority of the time we need to put feet to pavement and get the stuff done. Sometimes we just throw the money and it just dissipates in the ether, never seen again. So I am a little angry of that happened. There was another one of the whole of giving the judicial as well too in my state, and it passed and giving control to the governor. I'm against that as well too, but we give them the power. Now, next one that passed, and I'm happy was, which is still kind of crazy. Which is still kind of crazy, is the maximum state income tax cap. It did pass for my state. It was supposed, as right now we at 5.5%, and the cap was at 10%. So we did pass it to be down to 7%. I am happy that we did pass that. That's a good one. So in that regard, thank y'all for at least wising up to that one. So, like I said, you have some wins, you have some wins, you have some losers. That's how it goes. But in the midterms, like I said, they had some crazy things happen. Nevertheless, all the violence is happening from both sides, majority from the left side, because these Antifa people are ridiculous. They're now going to people's homes and scaring their wives and all kind of stuff like that. Not down for that. That is ridiculous that you guys would do that. But there were some how should I say this? There were some elections around the United States itself that happened that had an effect on what's going on. Majority of people, I think there was 3 states that elected to have legalized marijuana. Right, put it to the people. They want it. They can have it. They tax it. Hope they use the money for the right things. In most cases, they don't. But y'all put it past it that you have it, tax it, and there's extra income. There's extra revenue stream for them now. We go down to Florida, where there was something that was passed, and I was pretty cool with. That was that they passed that felons, people who served a time in prison, they can vote. And I'm not against that, because if you serve your time and you did what you're supposed to do, I think you should as a citizen, you still have the right to to vote. I mean, you stole money or whatever, you're in the jail, you come back out, you reform. I think that you should have your vote rights should be reestablished, because again, you could talk about the prison stuff and all kind of to reform the prison systems and everything. So I'm not against that. Now, of course, in Florida, they had the governorship as he went to the red. Again, don't care for the who's and what, but I would be lying to you if I didn't say, Florida did vote Gillum out. And some people are like, well, hey, why would I be looking at it and say that Gillum is that he didn't win? Simple, because Gillum literally was caught on camera saying that I'm not gonna I'm not gonna keep my promises. Well, that's how it works. Are you gonna keep your promises? No. Oh, that's a good gaffe. I like that one of his staffers was like, yeah, he's not gonna keep those. He's not gonna keep his promises. He said basically, which was very savage when he said it. That had me laughing. When he's like, remember back in the old days where you said fairy tales used to be once upon a time. Modern day fairy tale is once I'm in office. And I was like, wow, this guy really, that's kind of weird to say, but that's modern day fairy tale. Once I'm in office, and the story trails off from that. So there you go. Like how that worked out. So sorry, sir, you were caught. Didn't work out. Same thing for Miss McCaskill up in North Dakota, but she was also on a tape saying the same thing, and she came and said she came on and she said like, oh, I'm not gonna again keep my promises. And when she got caught, instead of just saying, wow, okay, and try whatever, she said that, well, all the people in the tape was double standing doubles. I'm like, no, we got you of your own words saying this. So you do you have a twin? Do you have a twin? Must be you must, because if you have a twin, then your twin messed up your chances of winning. But so I said again, it's funny that you got caught on that on tape saying that. Now let's talk about another thing that is weird. Now this is why I said R's or D's don't make a difference, because you have I already done like dang, I forget his name from New York. Chuck Schumer, of course, convicted of taking money from, of course, from New York, but people still vote him in. Robert Menendez, caught talking about having sex with underage girls, and he's a crooked guy. Of course, they vote him back in. You got Hunter, and these are, again, I'm gonna give you R's and D's. Hunter, also a crooked person who also did fraud and money laundering, and they voted him back in. I'm like, so it don't make no difference. People, I don't care if it's R's or these, people are so loyal to their parties, even if the person stole money from them in their taxpayers and everything, they still vote him back in because they're Team R or Team D. It's ridiculous. I can't do that. I would, if you stole taxpayer money from me, I'm not voting your butt back in. You out. But people vote them back in. It's crazy. So we have that. Then, because of what's going on now with how the politics is getting into the whole black, white, Latino, identity politics, instead of talking about people's, what people think and what's going on in their mouth. Because again, I'll give you an example. I congratulate her because I know she's been fun, and I'm happy, and I'm congratulated. I know she was never gonna lose. Miss Cortez, Ocasio Cortez, up in New York. Who's gonna beat her? No, it's New York. New York is a blue state. It's a blue state, straight blue. She is. None of her policies makes a lick of sense. Not a one. None of them make sense. She talks because she don't know what she's talking about, and it's weird. But she'll be father. She is the youngest person, of course, elected to Congress. So I'm happy for you, ma'am. Let's see what let's see what happens when we put the foot to roll. What you're gonna do? Because again, all the policies you talked about don't make none of sense. Because the number one thing that's your weakness is how you're gonna pay for it. And of course, that's like how politicians do. That's why I said America has a spending problem. We spend money throw money at things without even knowing how to attack the problem. Oh, we just need more money in this. Okay, how? We're gonna put the money where? What we're gonna do with it? How are we gonna spend the money? Oh, just give me the money. Don't worry, I got this. And this is where we got a lot of bureaucracies, and this just mess everything up, because you tell them what to do. They make this committee of people who, of course, their job is not to fix the problem, because if they fix the problem, then there's no problem to be fixed. Instead of fixing the problem, they get in there, and since they're not elected, they don't have a responsibility. They can't be voted out. They can't be nothing. And their responsibility is to keep money coming to their bureaucracy. America has over 2,000 offices that are redundant, that should have never existed. But nobody want to cancel them. Nobody has the BS to do it. Some has done that into that guard, but I don't want to put it on to that person yet, because that person is a figure that it is, how should I say this? Because everybody's so up in arms with that person. So I'm trying to leave that out of the conversation as much as I can. So also we had so like I said, identity politics, that kills me. It is funny and hilarious to me how things are, because everybody is given in Texas. What's going on in Texas? In Texas, what's going on with this this Beto O'Rourke guy? That to me is funny, and this is why I say identity politics is funny. We already had Elizabeth Warren, who stated she's Native American, which we found out she is less than 1/16,000 Native American. I have more than that, but people play the identity politics things with the whole I'm a man, I'm a female, transgender, all this stupid crap, which is just so toxic. So we have this, which is funny, had me laughing. When I love that his speech when he was like, "We did all this," and I gotta give it to him because he had a caveat. Smart on him. I give him. He's kind of quick on a thinker. I don't understand what people always like. Oh, he looks like me. He got black skin like me, or he looks like me, or he skateboards or whatever. What is his policies? What he's gonna do? I don't care what he does, look or whatever. What he's gonna do? I want to know what the man thinks. If the man thinks, "Hey, we're gonna tax the hell out of people, and we're not gonna give you nothing," I don't want a man or female in that. But I digress. So it was funny how people like, "Oh, Beto O'Rourke." That's not his name. Okay, that whole Beto. That was a name that threw up, and people use that, which is funny. His name is Robert Francis O'Rourke. He's a white guy. Nothing against that, of course, but he's a white guy with Scottish heritage. He's white, straight white. But people talk about he put Obeto to try to get the Spanish vote, the Latino vote. And the crazy part about it, Ted Cruz is literally, he is Latino, but everybody sees, but you got people throwing him as, oh, he's just a white guy, but Beto is Hispanic. No, he's not. No, he's not. What is, up is down, left is right. What is going on? His name is Robert Francis O'Rourke. Ain't no Beto. Was a nickname that he pulled together and pretend that he was Latino. And I like how he said that, oh, we raised money from grassroots. We didn't take it from no PACs. Lie. You ain't raised $70 million from people just giving you $10, $20. You ain't did that. I have respect for Bernie Sanders for what he said, but you better, hell no, you lied. Because most of the money came from LA. So, funny how that works out. And then you raised again because you got $38 million in 1 month. Yeah, that was you going knocking on door to door to do that. Please don't. That is ridiculous. But then, so that's how that identity politics work out crazy. So Ted Cruz, an actual Latino person, blood and everything, son of a Cuban American. He's a white guy, but the white guy puts a weird tacky name to his name and becomes becomes a Latino person. Oh boy! Again, up is down, black is white. It's just weird how we play these political things. It's just so crazy. That is weird in its own right there. How the news media, and again, the news media was on his side, Hollywood's on his side, so they spun it up very well, Ellen and everybody else, that he's Latino and all that stuff. And again, all his policies again was wishy-washy. Never had nothing concerning to put down. Again, I'm not saying nothing against Ted Cruz, that he also didn't have nothing safe as well too. But let's be honest in certain things, though. Let's be honest about it. Then we're gonna go with California. Oh, I gotta give a little more interesting, a little interesting point from Nevada. As Nevada had Dennis Hoff, who passed away in October, a dead guy. He is the owner of the Bunny Ranch, the legally Bunny Ranch prostitution brothel. Basically, people call him a pimp. Well, he died, but because it was so late, they couldn't take him off the ballot, and he handily beat his opponent. A dead pimp beats you. Wow. I don't know what to say about that. I really don't. A dead pimp beats you there. That's that congressional seat didn't care for you at all. Then let's go to now California. Oh boy. The reason I am one of the reasons I am a little about the Democrats taking back over the House. So to a degree, it doesn't bother me. It kind of works into President Trump's favor, knowing how the news media is and how it's going to be. It's going to do that. But so Nancy Pelosi might be back again, Speaker of the House. We already see what she said already. But she's not going to impeach President Trump because she knows how that game plays, and she knows what's going on, what's up stake. But I will say this though, holy smoke, Maxine Waters. I don't know how people. That's another one that should never get nothing, but she does, and she's gonna be head of the purse strings in Congress. You put a woman who is more crookeder than a bent corkscrew when it comes to financials in charge of that. And I still don't understand how people vote for that lady. She doesn't live in your district. She don't care about your district. Her district has the lowest literacy rate in the country. 7 out of 10 students cannot read above a 4th grade level. She's out there stopping saying, "Oh, get the white folks," and all that crap, and all. See how you black people talking about, because her district is mostly poor, with mostly poor with black people in that, and she's out there stopping saying about the white people and all that stuff. Yeah, you know where she lives in? A mansion, $4.3 million mansion, away from her district. Around the same, gated in with the white people. Wow, way to stand there, Maxine Waters. I can't believe. I hope, like I said, this is one time I do hope the Senate keeps her in check. Holy crap! To give her the purse strings, how crooked and she's. Oh my God, that's a wake up call right there. That's the only negative of the Democrats taking over the House I didn't like. To put her in charge of the purse strings. My goodness. Couldn't after her rhetoric of you know, harassed them in the house and all that stuff that she did. Y'all still vote her in, and she has. Look, the guy who went and shot Steve Scalise was a Bernie Sanders person. I don't blame Bernie Sanders. The guy was a nut job. The guy who sent bombs to the Democrats, he was crazy too. The anti-Semite who went to shut up the synagogue, he was crazy and a racist and all that stuff as well too. But this push of the violence, they just had another video, of Black Lives Matter, you know, looking at that dude and beating up an old man up in Nevada. Like these Antifa and Antifa going to Tucker Carlson's house and banging on the door. Like, what? This kind of stuff needs to stop. This violence. Everybody's talking about, oh, we have the Ku Klux Klan. Well, you know what? As I said before, the Democrats created the Ku Klux Klan, and now they created the Antifa, and they're the new Ku Klux. They're the modern day Ku Klux Klan. They go around and terrorize and threaten and hit and abuse and all kind of stuff. And so the sad part about it, the freaking media don't, your CNNs and all that stuff don't even let that stuff slide. And say, oh, well, it's in Don Lemon, his smug little bastard self. Well, it's in the name, the anti-fascists. No, the funny thing is that ironically, they're the fascists and they're doing horrible things to people. Don, that is so wrong, man. But again, that's the crazy part. You put, like I said, put Maxine Waters in this, and then they had. This is why he said California. It's weird. The fifth most economic powerhouse in the world, eighth in 1/8 of the country. Not surprising, Gavin Newsom won the governor. Not surprised. He was lieutenant governor, and he was that. He didn't really have to do nothing. But you guys put you guys literally put Gavin Newsom to be the president, to be the governor of California, the then mayor of San Francisco. What's going on in San Francisco right now? Oh yeah, they have a lot of homeless people, and you have people literally crapping fecal matter on the streets. 16 people have died last year of syphilis because of that. They literally had to get people to put hazmat suits to go on the streets to power wash away the homeless people who literally are crapping on the streets. Even they're crapping at the airport. Hell, there's a video of a woman, the video in a restaurant, and she crapped inside a restaurant right in front of the register. That is ridiculous. And the way that I love his speech saying that we're gonna be the bright future for America. Oh, you mean the state with the biggest deficit? $282 billion in debt, and keep on doing it, and trick people to vote for a gas tax, and added more taxes to registration bill. It's crazy. It's already, like I say, North Carolina is $33 for our inspection. In California, it's $250 now. Wow, jeez. Yeah, I'll stay far from over there. And again, I want to play this clip to show you what he is, because again, this is the kind of people, and Gavin Newsom is the kind of people that they try to stay. I think he's a rich guy, whatever. Try to stick up for minorities, but I swear the way that they speak makes it sound more racist than before. So this is him with Anna Carolla as he asks a question, and just listen to how it works out.
On the road 6 months. Yes, your husband lost his job. That's why you need to sock away some money when he's gainfully employed. Yes, they foreclosed on your home. That's why you need to have a network, a community, friends, family members, money put away.
I get it, but think about
Don't
it.
have the
half,
kids.
half of African Americans in the state of California, roughly half of Latino families, have no access to a checking account or an ATM. Things we take for granted. They don't have a checking
What's
account.
wrong with that?
Well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Why do we have?
A lot of different reasons, but roughly half those families don't. Where do they
Why
end
do
up?
Armenians have that?
But where they end up is in
Why-
check cashing
But
places.
I want to
and
know
these
why
payday
those
lenders
groups,
taking
why
advantage.
those two groups don't have access.
Well, a lot of it just happens to be that we can
So
talk
they're
about.
flawed?
No, they're hardly flawed, but they're
Do
struggling.
Asians have this problem?
I mean, a lot of communities have. A lot of whites have these problems.
Oh,
but
so
I
that's
just
not just black and Hispanic.
no, but
But
I'm
why did you
giving
bring
you
up black and Hispanic?
because the magnitude is ominous.
Why blacks and Hispanics?
Across the board, all
Why?
socioeconomic.
Okay, so everybody's
everybody's struggling.
So Asians are suffering just as much as blacks.
The face of welfare is not an African American
Oh,
family.
so it's Asian, Jewish, it's all of them.
Caucasian. It's
Okay,
a lot of
so we're all
folks in society. A lot of folks are struggling.
Okay.
But we want to go to the issue of race as it relates to the issues of poverty. And what we had in the redevelopment agencies and concentration of
I'd
poverty
like
and
to end
public
it
housing
myself.
and all of these things start to lead to why. To answer your question,
Yes.
why is it concentrated
Why?
in the African American community?
Why?
Looking at that history, one cannot exclude that reality.
Oh,
I just
history?
cannot- I just think that's naive to suggest that those things don't matter. When
How about
families
the
were broken
Jews? How
up,
about the Jews?
I-
No problems in the past?
no, of course, every community's got
Well,
their
who's had it
struggles.
worse?
Even the Irish had
Who do you think
struggles.
had it worse?
I get it. But
Well,
there-
what about the Jews? They
there's-
seem to be. Why are the Jews doing well?
you know what?
Why?
1967, blacks couldn't even marry whites in this country. Not 1927. In
Marry
16
whites?
states, they were
What the-
denied because people use religious arguments.
All right.
Blacks
Deny
couldn't
people
marry
the
You're not
whites.
putting up into
I understand,
consideration.
and it's disgraceful.
Okay,
And
so
that's why, and it's completely fair game. We
how are
can
the
talk
Jews
about
doing
that.
now?
I mean, a lot of Jewish families doing well. A lot of families struggle.
Really? At
Absolutely,
the check place?
sure.
Okay.
Every,
I'll
I mean,
go down to the check place.
across
and see
the
how many
board,
Jews-
people
Okay.
are struggling.
All right,
Of
as long
course.
as everyone's
I mean, look at
struggling
the
equally.
unemployment lines.
A lot of
They
Jews.
includes Americans of all types,
Okay.
all races, all
Okay.
ethnicities,
All right.
all sexual orientation.
They're all the same.
My gosh,
If,
Your
if
assertion.
you really cared about these people, you
That's
focus on the real problem.
which is
Family.
families are profoundly important,
Okay.
and
That's
and we
the
do
That's the
care about
answer.
our families.
All
And
right, that's the answer.
I agree. I don't know. I wish it was that simple.
It
but
is
God
that
bless
It
you.
is that simple.
I think it's absolutely critical. I agree with you. We're
I'll tell
not
you what.
denying it.
It's simple. Father, stay at home, raise your family,
Yeah.
do your homework with your kids, put an emphasis on education, like the Jews, like the Asians, and let's see what happens to the problem in 20 years.
I just
Let's
what
see
I
how many of you
what
are
I
at the check
don't
cashing
like
place.
what I don't like is then the sort of assertion within the statement is what you're not to suggest that the Latino community doesn't value those same things or African. I just don't accept that.
Well, they don't value it to the extent that some other groups do.
No, yeah.
You don't agree with that?
Your
Well,
opinion.
I think statistics back me up.
Yeah, well, I think it's a much more complex issue.
That's not that
I
not
just think it
complex
is.
at all.
Hope you guys can hear that. That's the governor of California with Adam Carolla, and Adam was correct. It's funny how the government loves to talk about, oh, we gotta be with families, but they incentivize to break families down, and we're losing. Look, if people say, okay, you don't gotta go by tradition, we gotta be progress. Again, I've said it many times. Most progress is not all progress is good. We need to have a dynamic in there. A lot of, when Lyndon Baines Johnson said, "Give me the Great Society," and said, and again, I'm quoting this. I don't like using this word, but I'm quoting what he said, which is basically, "Give me the Great Society, and I'll have these niggas voting for Democrat for the next 100 years." It's been 60 years. He's been correct so far. He's been correct so far. And to see what Gavin just said right there, oh, they don't have access. How do you not have access to money? If you work, you could get a simple bank account. You just don't want to have a bank account, so you go straight down to a check cashing place, which they literally take more money from you than the freaking banks. But nobody gives them the education to tell them that. It's funny. They're the same people that when you go and you get your refund check, your government refund, or sometimes basically your government subsidy, because some of these people don't even freaking work. But anyway, I digress. They later, that's why the H&R Block and Toba, all those guys were like, well, we'll get, you want your money right now, we'll give you a loan so you get the money right now. And people, and because people don't understand simple economics, they don't understand that they're losing more money by doing that, because they want that self gratification right there. You spending more money to get your own money back. And that's sad. That's literally sad that they don't understand that. And these guys take, again, I could say it's kind of like a predatory in a way, but it's not, because if they know simple economics, and I do mean simple economics, you would not have to worry about it. That's why I'm happy that the state I'm in voted again for the second time, voted that we should have voters ID. Because when people telling me, oh, it's racist, black people can't get ID, I'm like, why? What's holding black people to get ID? I mean, you need an ID to drive. You need an ID to get your check, to change your check, to do stuff. When I get my check and I cash it with the bank, I get the whole 100% money that comes out of my bank. When I go to a check cashing place like Gavin say, I get less than the money back. When I pay taxes, like in my situation, I'm not gonna, because again, most of these people don't work, so they're just given money. But in most cases, when I get my taxes, and the people and H&R Block or whoever said, hey, we're gonna give you the money today if we'll loan you the money today. No, this is money that was gonna give back to me because I paid enough taxes in the first place. Why would I give you a piece of that money to you? I already don't give you a piece of the money to do my taxes in the first place, but I'm not gonna give you no more than that when I'm supposed to owe whatever money's back. But because they don't know that, they give their money freely and just because they want it instant. And that's one of the major problems in America. They want instant gratification without responsibility and without getting stuff really looked at and done. That's the sad part about this. And the thing about it, he's so headstrong, he don't know that what he's saying is so racist. But of course, he is on the left, so he doesn't. And the news will report it that way. They will report Adam as the bad guy. All Adam was saying is, traditionally, have a family. Me, I don't have no kids. Why? Because I want to make sure I'm married and I'm financially stable, but I want to make sure I'm married. And I want to have I've said this on my other radio show, Radio T3. Majority of people, and I'll put it in America, but it's extended to the world as well. Majority of people are born out of lust and love. Okay, I was oops baby. A lot of people were oops babies. So that's not even majority of people were oops babies. Oh damn it! Oh, you're pregnant. Oh, damn it! I'm pregnant. It was not because, oh, I love you, you love me. Hey, I want to have kids, whatever. I'm trying to do that. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to make sure that if I have a child, it's because I love the person I'm with, and I want to have. And like I said, this is the part. Some of the stuff like this is what you're gonna be hearing on Project Bright more. I know the politics is what it is, and it's gonna be different starting next year. We're gonna have different people to talk about. Fathers, mothers, brothers, all kind of stuff like that. But I don't want to be just, the politics has just been strained and talking about stuff. Speaking of that, I did a video about when people saying believe all women. Now, this week, the seventh woman who lied on Brett Kavanaugh, Justice Kavanaugh, came out and said, yeah, her story is a fabrication. Now, so 7 women who should believe all women. But it came out now and found out they lied just because they want to grandstand. Two, because they don't like they don't like Donald Trump, so they don't like his pick. Three, they don't like Brett Kavanaugh because the whole crap. I never understand that thing they were talking about. Oh, you got to stop him because he will stop your reproductive rights. Abortion is not a reproductive right. It's not. But I love how they throw that in there. And my stance, I'll review my stance on abortion again. I just don't want my taxpayer money going towards stuff like that. You want to do it, go do it on your own dime. Short version. But it's going to stop your reproduction life. And I love women like, I don't like how men tell us how to do with our bodies. Excuse me? But you want us men to pay for your free birth control. If you want free, there's no such thing as really as free. So you give power somewhere and learn that carefully. Nothing's free. Okay? Everything has a consequence. Everything has a payment. Including when it comes to financial a material product. There's no such thing as free. So you want free birth controls? Well, you stomp and demanded these white men, as you say, up in Congress and in the Washington D.C. We want free birth controls, but okay, so we're gonna give free birth controls, but you can't tell us what to do with our bodies. Where did that make sense? It doesn't, but that's what's going on in the world today. So look like I said, believe all women. 7 women now. And any of these women going to go to jail? No, because there's a law called perjury, and they perjure themselves. But are they going to go to jail? Nope, not a one. Of course not. Common sense in America. There's a reason, and a lot of people know me, and people talk to me know this. People say it's common sense, law, common sense this, common sense that. We don't have common sense in America, in most places in the world either. We don't. The reason why a lot of people from the, as you saw, quote unquote, from the right, is winning more than people think. Look what happened in Brazil. A person who's Trump-esque just won the presidency. Hell, it was attacked and stabbed. Sweden. After a while, they also is being the right people. So is Germany. So is Hungary. So is, and I love what the media was like saying, like, you know, President Trump is a anti-Semite. He has a Jewish daughter, Jewish stepson, Jewish kids, and he helps Israel. But he's too pro-Israel. Make up your mind, media. Make up your mind. But midterm is done. We see what's going on. It's weird. And you know what is sad? Another weird part about it too, this is also how corrupted it is. California, again, California is one of my Democrats. That was the only state. You know who ran against Gavin? You think most people would say, oh, it was a Democrat and a Republican. No, it was a Democrat versus a Democrat. They wouldn't even know a Republican. That's how left that state is. They wouldn't even have a Republican to run against Gavin Newsom. It was a Democrat versus a Democrat. Again, and that state is $282 billion in debt. And the infrastructure is bad. And look, right now you got some of the tech companies now a little angry with the whole homeless tax, which is so stupid. You already have enough benefits. That's why people go to your state and defecate and harass. And hell, they got a guy who got beheaded by a homeless because he took him into his house. Oh, that worked. And he was beheaded. They found his body in a fish tank in his own house, which is ridiculous. Violence, of course, is happening there. It's crazy. And the thing about it, you're broadcasting, okay, we're going to have this tax to pay for this homeless tax, opposed on the businesses. And they were the most leftist of things like Jack Dorsey and stuff like that. I'm not. I might be down for the cause, but I ain't down for that kind of cause, because you publicize it, and you're gonna bring more degenerates there. But that's how you want to live your state. So that's what it is. So I'll end this project open mic with that. One more thing. I am for the veterans. I hope God bless y'all for what you have done. I am a proud supporter of the military for what they have done. Again, we could say, hey, I don't like what the certain presidents or people put them to do around the world. But you know what? The men and women who serve the military have my utmost respect. Unless they ain't crazy or loon, but you did a service of volunteering your life, and also the families. And because of that, I wish you all a happy Veterans Day. And also, just to let y'all know, because I'll show this right here, I am a proud supporter. I am a patriot. I've given my company T3 Records has raised, because we do just like we did with the hurricane that I did, hurricane relief I did, where we raised basically $1 million to help people down in the hurricane last year from the 2 major hurricanes. And also done some a little beneficial for people for the hurricanes that happened this year as well too, because again, those were 2 devastating hurricanes last year that did some damage, but also helped what we had this year. But I am a proud patriot of Fisher House, and they are our sponsor, and they're also a cool sponsor of T3 Records, which is the company I run. We have raised, like I said, raised for them over $1.1 million for this company. I love Sam Fisher is a good guy. 96 cents on the dollar goes to the vets. That's why I'm happy. The overhead is they make sure the money goes to the people who you need. Show it here on Facebook as well too. I always get this because they want to know about the heroes. They call me a hero because we've raised money for them. So I'm a proud person to Fisher House. And of course, I will be doing, and I always donate every year, so I will be doing again the Veterans Day again for them. Again, 96 cents on the dollar goes towards vets. That's why I say I'm a proud person of helping families, because not only does the vet sacrifice them, not only is the vet sacrificing his life, and this is for more people who are hurt on everything, but also the family, the moms, the dad, the wives, the kids. They're giving a soldier, or the husbands, because he's a female too. They're giving a soldier. They're giving it their health to protect what's going on in the world. So, again, Fisher House Foundation, I'm a proud sponsor. They're cool with me. Sam Fisher's a cool person. When we had that the government shutdown, which was ridiculous, again, Dems. But anyway, I digress. And when they were trying to scare you and say we're not going to give the benefits to the vets, Sam Fisher stepped in and gave the vets their benefits. That's why I'm a proud sponsor of these guys. And also that I'm a patriot hero. I'm a proud patriot hero of Fisher House. So with that said, midterms is weird. Identity politics is getting crazier, and again, it's sad because the clip that I just played with Al Corolla is basically a conversation between Al Corolla and Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, yes, is on Fox News. He's not. I can respect Tucker Carlson because he does his little things in certain way, but he is a facts-based guy. That's what I said. A lot of people don't like to listen to Fox because for some rare reason. That's what I said. I listen to all. As much as I don't like CNN, I still listen to CNN. Jim Acosta, you clown, again. But it's crazy that people, Antifa, again, went to this man's house where his wife was home cooking food, and they went there and banged on the door, damaged his door, and scared his wife, and they spray paint stuff on his driveway and everything. Like that is crazy. These people are getting out of hand. And again, it was Black Lives Matter was beating up this white man in a car. The video shows the guy just went there. 3 guys came and just beat the man up for no reason, and they did it not once, multiple times, and it's ridiculous. These bad apples reflects on the organization, and right now, the country is divided. The last time we've been super divided like this was back in the 60s and 70s, when everything was towards when the and I'll be honest, when the right wing, where the pendulum was on the right, and the right wing was a little crazy with their rhetoric. Now they're swinging to the left. Now we got the left with their rhetoric. People say, well, President Trump is dividing the country. He has a part in it. I'm not going to deny he doesn't have a part in it. But the media is so outstep their bonds by lying. He's not lying with the whole fake news, because they are. There's another bias that people don't understand. There's a bias which is if the news media choose what news to cover. That's another bias that people don't talk about. Of course, Fox News have their bias of what choose not to bother, but I've seen some people. I do mean some people. Talk about what happened to Tucker Carlson and his family. Any other people? CNN? No. MSNBC? No. CBS? ABC? No. I'm happy Washington Post, meaning it was in Washington. The Hill, all those guys did talk about it, but threatening a man's family, just like they did with Brett Kavanaugh, what the New York Post did, and the New Yorker magazine did, using the children of Brett Kavanaugh for their slander. Like, look, you got something against me? Talk about me, but don't bring the kids into it. There was 10 and 11-year-old girls, and that was despicable that they did that. I'm not for that. But anyway, that's the midterm reviews. Said the only person I'm scared for is that I'm scared that we let Maxine Waters get the hold of the purse strings. That crooked woman, huh? But we'll move on with that. And I'll end this Project Open Mic. Remember, there's evil in this world. And evil comes in many factors. It don't matter your color, your race, your skin, your culture, your gender. Evil is in all of those. So, y'all have a good night. And hopefully, like I said, next year when we get more stuff to do with the radio show, we could check this out. Remember, you could check out Project Open Mic on YouTube. That's Project Open Mic. Or Project Open Mic on Twitter. And Project Open Mic at gmail.com for any to email. Again, it will be also with RadioT3.com as well in 2019. So I hope you guys have a good night. Thank you. And we'll catch you on YouTube, Facebook. We'll catch you on another time. Good night.